PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to PACTV Community News. We have a great show this week with stories from your communities. We take you to a fair housing event in Pembroke, meet a prom dress donation organization in Plymouth, and we go to a huge art event on the Point in Duxbury.
PCN meets a young Kingston resident who participated in the World Irish Step Dancing Championships, and we get a preview of a golf tournament fundraising series put on by Plymouth BNI networking groups.
Doctor's Orders is back with some skin safety information as we head into warmer weather. And Local Eats takes us to Plymouth's Tavern on the Wharf.
It's a great show this week, and we begin on the Point near Duxbury Beach. What better way to celebrate spring than with good food, fine art, wine, and friends? To make it all even nicer, bring it together to raise funds for an incredible nonprofit that supports sick children and their families. The Art on the Point event showcased artists from the region, all to support the Magical Moon Foundation. PCN was there to bring you the story.
The town of Duxbury, the community of Duxbury, has come together to have a lovely event at this home in Duxbury that is on its last legs, so to speak. And a lot of sponsors came together to organize the event to benefit the Magical Moon Foundation, which is a nonprofit for children with cancer and other life-threatening diseases in Marshfield. The Magical Moon inspires these children to be empowered with their lives as they're going through treatment and thereon after, through learning about healthy living, art, creativity, music, and it's really giving them a place to go and feel confident and empowered and in control at a time in their life when they really don't have control. They're surrounded by hospitals and sterile environments and grown-ups talking about things that they might not understand. So the Magical Moon is really, it's an educational center. And it teaches the children everything from growing and cooking organic vegetables. So you'll see tonight we have a cookbook here by one of the former knights at the Magical Moon Foundation. Also teaches them, as I mentioned, about art. So Donna Green is the founder, and she's a world famous artist, the Velveteen Rabbit being one of her most famous illustrations. And she teaches art to the children herself, as well as a group of volunteers that teach everything from yoga and other ways to live healthy, creativity to keep their minds inspired as well.
The Duxbury Art Association is thrilled to be part of this great event, Art on the Point. We were asked after the organizers thought it was a great idea to utilize a vacant mansion that was soon to come down, fill it with art, and have a beneficiary organization have a result from the party. So we're actually featuring 15 Duxbury Art Association artists and are here to help support the Magical Moon. Art sales will help the artists, the Duxbury Art Association, and the Magical Moon. So it's a great fun opportunity to toast this beautiful house goodbye before it comes down. We have artwork from folks all over the South Shore. We have people from Duxbury, images of Duxbury, images of the South Shore, gorgeous art, photography, oil painting, some interesting fish prints. We have people who used to live in Duxbury who now live far away, who shipped us work. So we've got a huge array of interesting things, and hopefully they'll find new homes on walls in Duxbury and around, and support everybody in the meantime.
It has amazing artwork. Donna Green's artwork to begin with from Magical Moon, and for her wonderful imagination and creativity. And Carol Balzay, who there's a horse in there that just, when I close my eyes, I can still see that horse moving. And I love the name of it, Seahorse, because it's moving along in the ocean just at low tide. And her her paintings and all the local artists. It's a treat to have them all here, and all the wonderful supporters for helping us here.
I would just like to say thank you to the community of Duxbury for participating in this, organizing this wonderful event and bringing two communities together for a really wonderful cause.
If you haven't seen Riverdance or Lord of the Dance, you might not be able to appreciate just how much work is involved in getting those dancers to that level in the world of Irish step dancing. For the past 2 years, the town of Kingston has sent a representative to the World Irish Step Dancing Championships in Glasgow, Scotland. We spoke with these young ladies at their dance class to find out just how much work is involved in qualifying.
I went to Glasgow, Scotland in March to compete at the World Irish Dance Championships. I did a lot of sports when I was young, and my cousin and my great aunt did Irish step too, so it just kind of got passed down to me, and then I got all my friends into doing it, and so we all just kind of decided like, hey, let's make Irish step our thing. In November, we have our regional qualifier, which is called the Oireachtas, and I qualified at the Oireachtas to compete at the Worlds. So between November to March, I was going to dance like 5 times a week for like 2 hours with extra classes here and there to prepare us for Worlds.
It took a lot of like hard work. Normally, in the summer it's kind of laid back, so we do more like 2 classes a week. And then once it hits fall season and winter season, that's like our hardest time, so we're training 5 days a week, and for more out like 3 hours at most. So it's a lot, and plus working out and eating healthy. So
these young men and women who come into our studio are here about 4 to 5 times a week. They're in here for 2 hours at a time, so we're talking about 10 hours of practice over the course of maybe 4 months.
it was so hard because you'd go to these competitions locally and you come back and your friends are like, oh, how did you do? And they're like, did you win? And it's not actually that easy. Even just getting placing is a huge deal. So it's really hard to place at this level.
They dance 3 dances if they're lucky. The first dance is a heavy dance, which is either a hornpipe or a jig. That's done with 3 people at a time on the stage, and there are upwards of 200 competitors in each competition. Then they come back and do a light dance, which is a reel or a slip jig, again with 3 competitors on the stage. And the top 50, it's actually the top third, maxing out at 50, come back for their solo round. This has turned into a sport. When I competed at a young age, it was that kind of, you didn't know whether you want your friends to know that you did it. But nowadays, they take great pride in the fact that they work just as hard as the high school football team works or the hockey team. They put in just as much time and energy into something that they compete. And those people that play on the hockey team and the football team at their high schools will never compete at the world level. These kids are competing at the world level of a sport which they chose.
My goal is to get better and better. For dancing, I'll probably stop dancing once I hit college, and because it's just too hard to manage school and sports and stuff. But for dance, for now, I'm just trying to be as good as I can and improve and do better.
I'm hoping to qualify again, to keep working hard and getting better and better.
What a great bunch of girls that was. I know as a dance teacher for 15 years, people have no idea how difficult that type of dance is. And the synchronization that it takes, and just look at their calf muscles if you want to know how much strength they have to have in their bodies. They're just amazing. Good for them.
And it wasn't just girls. There were boys there.
That's right, that's true.
Well, I only saw one boy in there when I was shooting, but I know there are boys and young men that do it, and it's a really awesome, a lot of work.
A lot of work.
A ton of work. I mean, just the days per week and the hours per week and being on your toes, like you said, those calves are huge, so they're just constantly working those legs. It was
good for them.
Looked exhausting.
Good for them.
BNI stands for Business Networking International, and the town of Plymouth has 5 chapters. Those 5 groups all wanted to get together to do a charity-type event and came up with a series of 5 golf tournaments, each one supporting a specific charity. We met up with these network specialists to find out more.
BNI is a group of local businesses that get together every week to refer business to each other and hopefully make each other more successful, not only locally, but as they grow their businesses. What's unique about BNI is not only the weekly commitment that everybody makes to each other, but also that each group only allows one particular person from that profession in the group. So each week I know every Wednesday morning I can get together with a group of colleagues that I'm going to be the only person in the group that sells what I sell, that works with what I work with. And we also try and build each group amongst other people in our sphere of influence. CPAs, attorneys, insurance agents get together, but also real estate agents get together with closing attorneys and moving companies and such like that. It's really interesting how it works. One of the key things about BNI is local, and a big part of being a local business person is giving back to the community. And we're really proud of the fact that our local groups of BNI really try and do as much as they can with the local charities, and that's what's prompted us to create the BNI Tour. It's a golf tour this summer where BNI members are going to get together and compete against each other at local charitable events. We have 5 charities that we've committed to for 2016. The Plymouth Antiquarian Society, the Plymouth Lions Club, Sacred Heart, the Cranberry Hospice, and the Boys and Girls Club of Plymouth. And really what our goal is to have all 5 BNI groups in Plymouth. There are 5 BNI groups that are located in Plymouth, and we want to have each of those 5 groups have a foursome at each of the events. And we're going to compete on how much money's raised, how well you do in the tournament, and a couple other fun competitive things that we'll be able to compete with all year long.
The Antiquarian Society was founded in 1919, and we have 3 historic house museums here in Plymouth, which require a great deal of care in order to preserve them for future generations. And we depend upon the support of our members and the local community in order to maintain them. And so by holding the golf tournament every year, we're able to raise support for those properties. And we're really excited this year to partner with the BNI groups in the town to help make the golf tournament a great success.
Sacred Heart is tremendously grateful to be able to be a beneficiary of the BNI effort, pulling all the area golf tournaments together. Sacred Heart's tournament specifically benefits the Joanne Druzzi Foundation, which benefits children who are being challenged with cancer, and Sacred Heart School, and at the school it's benefiting the athletic program. So to have our community partners come together in support of those 2 charities, it's a win-win for us.
That's one of the big reasons why we're doing this, is hoping that other professional businesses in Plymouth that are generous to the local community see that there's a network of BNI members that they might want to be a part of. They're going to have 5 choices. There's 5 different BNI groups that each have their own personality, and we'd love for them to come see us.
The Plymouth and South Shore Association of Realtors held a fair housing event last month with over 200 people attending. Representatives from housing agencies were on hand to discuss valuable information on home buying, grants, and programs that support affordable and fair housing. PCN stopped in to learn more.
We are celebrating Fair Housing Month, and we have brought in a number of, actually pretty much every local and statewide housing agency. They offer programs to bring forward knowledge, information, and also programming as it ties into fair and affordable housing. And we're also going to be doing a 2-credit continuing education workshop relative to fair housing and affordable housing to cap off the event. Well, it's very important for the community because access to programs is extremely important, but also creating the awareness at such depth as having all the realtors so specifically involved in their communities and other avenues. This is very important. Well, I've been a member of the committee for 4 years. Has been going on for a number of years prior to. Always very well attended. a lot, the pieces that are very important here today too is that the tables that disseminate the information end up having folks utilize the programs.
We're doing a presentation today on the Code of Ethics. Code of Ethics is required to be taught every 4 years. It's a big deal because the Code of Ethics means a lot for the consumer, the clients and customers. If a real estate agent follows the Code of Ethics, then we know they're doing a good job and that they're doing a job that would benefit the clients and customers.
This event is very important for the community and for realtors and for people that work in the industry. It offers information about mortgage programs and insurance and information in general on how a first-time home buyer, for example, can obtain information and financing. And also because it is an event where it's sponsoring the Code of Ethics, it protects everyone. And realtors will know what they need to do and how to protect everyone's rights and protect themselves so they don't get sued. People are very excited about the clothing drive, about the classes that we offer, and it's a win-win.
The clothing drive is something that's done every year. One of our affiliates heads up the clothing drive, one of the lender affiliates, and very successful. We had the room full on the side before the truck even got here today, and another opportunity to coordinate and reach out to the community.
We are doing a clothing drive kickoff or end to put them into careers so they will have something to wear or wear in the professional life. The benefit for the Career Closet is to have people have resources to better their life, to put an impact in their life that may not have the money or the financial ability to buy clothing or feel more confident when they look for a job. Their Father Bill's Welcome Home Bag campaign, it's our second year doing this, where we raise new items, money, Charlie cards, Stop and Shop cards, whatever may work to help homeless individuals and family get into their homes. And the option of buying it new, or why we go new, is so people don't feel a little disgruntled to get used items and get things they may not need.
We're just very thankful that we have such a turnout and so many realtors that are interested in all of these pieces as they relate to the community as well.
Prom season is upon us, and that means expensive hairstyles, fancy nails, prom tickets, limousines. The costs really just keep adding up. But we found a way for young ladies to save some money on their dresses. We went to Plymouth South High School to get the story.
Beccas Closet is a national nonprofit organization that donates and dresses and collects dresses for girls that maybe wouldn't be able to afford to go to a prom or any kind of special event. This young lady named Rebecca Kurtman is from Florida, and she, as a freshman, saw the need for dresses to be provided for young women that couldn't afford to go to proms. And she started her own dress drive and collected 250 gowns. A year later, tragically, she was in a car accident and died. And her family wanted to continue her dream to provide gowns for young ladies, and turned it into a nonprofit 501 organization. And now, all these years later, it's nationwide, and it fluctuates. There's anywhere from 60 to 80 chapters going from coast to coast, and we are actually the only one in Massachusetts right now, and we receive dresses from brand new dresses, from bridal shops, famous chains, or just young women that want to pay it forward. With college tuition skyrocketing, and for many of these girls it's right around the corner, buying a prom gown can be cost prohibitive, and sometimes it just makes sense. And vintage is in, and sometimes you can find some really cool vintage dresses, and like I said, you can still find brand new dresses, but it does make sense, and we only accept gently worn or newer dresses in general. Originally, when we started 6 years ago here at Plymouth South, there was this stigma of, oh, I would never want to wear a used dress. I need a brand new $800 gown. Things have changed, and I think students are getting more savvy about finance and the costs associated with life in general. So there has, like I said, there has been a shift, and we are seeing more foot traffic in here as it compared to 6 years ago. We've had, just in 2 weeks alone, we've had at least 10 girls in here looking at gowns, and now we have schools that will come and bring girls that know that are, that may be having some financial difficulties or just don't see the need to pay for an $800 gown that they're going to wear once. When I get calls about Beccas Closet and how to obtain a gown, the caller will always ask me, well, how do I prove that I need a gown? And here at Plymouth South, we don't do that. If you would like a gown, we want you to come in, find a gown, be comfortable, and feel great for your event.
Pretty amazing stuff. And she mentions that there's only one chapter here in Massachusetts, so anybody that might be interested in starting a chapter can go online and they'll fill out a chapter form, which is at beccascloset.org.
That's awesome. And I know as the mother of a young lady who went to 4 proms, and they're sitting in her closet, all these gowns, and I said to her, can I donate them? And she said, absolutely. So it's wonderful, good for you, keep it up, and we should definitely help start another chapter. PCN's Doctor's Orders is back with Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital's affiliate at the South Shore Skin Center for information on skin safety.
This is PCN's Doctor's Orders, and I'm Ramsey Saad, a dermatologist in Plymouth and Norwell. We're going to talk about sun safety because we're getting toward the summer season, and although it's important to use sun protection and sunscreens and know what you're up against year-round, it certainly is more of an issue in the summer months. So the sun puts out a couple different forms of ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet A and B are the 2 main ones. And B is the ray that we see year-round, but mainly from 10 to 2. Ultraviolet A is a ray that's present all day long, all year long, comes through car and building windows, reflects off snow, sand, and water. And it's important that you understand that you should protect yourself from both of these rays because they both contribute to aging, skin cancers, and a lot of the things that the sun can do that's not what we want. Of course, there's a lot of health in the sun, and having a healthy lifestyle that includes being outdoors is smart. So we look for sunscreens as part of how we protect against sun exposure or overexposure to the sun. Sunscreens should say that they are broad spectrum and that they have an SPF of 30 or higher. That will be a way that you'll know that you're getting the best protection out there. It's important to put sunscreens on every day. Just pretend it's your daily moisturizer because all a sunscreen is a couple chemicals in a moisturizer. So by putting it on every day, you've just moisturized, but you're doing it with a Cadillac that's actually protecting you from the rays of the sun. And that's how you cover your exposed skin. You also want to cover your skin to the extent that you can with clothing, because clothing is a great way to protect your skin from the sun's rays. And finally, covering yourself in terms of shade. So if you're someone who likes outdoor activities, and that's obviously an important thing to do for health, be the person who grabs some shade every once in a while. If you're on the beach, get a sun umbrella. Everything you can do to cover your skin, cover your exposed skin, and protect yourself from the direct rays of the sun is very helpful.
Our Local Eats segment brings us to a new addition to Plymouth's waterfront, Tavern on the Wharf. Take it away, Donna.
The newest addition to Plymouth's waterfront dining not only has a view of the harbor from every seat, it also has traditional tavern dining, entertainment, a family-friendly atmosphere, and a fun but community-minded crew. So let's check out Tavern on the Wharf. Thanks so much for having us here today.
Hi, Donna. Welcome to Tavern on the Wharf.
When I came in, I couldn't help but notice you have a lot of really fun drinks on the menu at the bar.
We keep quite the assortment of craft draft beers. We also have an assortment of cocktails, which we switch out per season.
And what do we have here?
A couple of our house specialties. This is our fried calamari, which we serve
Wonderful.
with banana peppers in a boat of warmed calamari, warmed marinara sauce. And this is our fried burrata. And of course, being on the waterfront, we are a tavern. We get the freshest seafood around, so we have our assortment of oysters, crab claws, as well as shrimp. And then this is one of our tavern favorites, which is buffalo chicken nachos. Well, we like to have a broad range. We want to appeal to everyone. We want to have something that fits every budget, and we have tourists from all around the world that visit. We want to have something that appeals to everyone.
That's fantastic. And I also really like the way you have things set up here. So if we're sitting where we're sitting, this is a fantastic bar, great tavern.
Yes.
A lot of fun, someplace to come and hang out after work, have a good appetizer, a drink with a friend. Yep. But you also have a full dining room, and it's a great place to be able to bring your family as well.
Absolutely.
Now, I understand the owner is going to be meeting me in the dining room?
Yes, Mr. Lucida will be meeting you to have some delightful dinner specialties.
Excellent. Well, I think I'm going to have to sample a few of these before I go meet Peter, but this is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Sounds good, Donna.
I look forward to meeting up with you again later for dessert.
Salute.
Thank you.
You're
Salute.
welcome.
Peter?
Hi.
Thank you. We finished with Sabrina with a toast. Now tell me what we have here for dinner. Everything looks beautiful.
We'll start with the portside biscuit. Portside biscuit has lobster bisque, a lobster tail, and we have shrimp, and we have also breadcrumbs.
And is this a cod?
That's the cod. That's
Beautiful.
cod with risotto and spinach. This is the Mr. Piggy.
Mr. Piggy.
Mr. Piggy. Mr. Piggy with the pulled pork. All of our ground beef is actually made in-house, so we hand pack them, and then with fries, and it's topped with onion rings.
Well, everything looks wonderful. Everybody in the restaurant is smiling. It's a Friday afternoon, and it looks like you have tourists here, you have locals here, you have families here. You've got a great team here that works well together.
It is like a big happy family, and it's a fun group, and everybody is in it for to be successful. And then once people come in, we want everybody to feel welcome, and eventually everybody, it's like the Cheers mentality. Everybody comes in and everybody knows their name.
Now, I'm looking forward to tasting some of these amazing looking meals. And then afterwards, I believe I'm going to be joining Sabrina again, and we're going to take a look at your dessert menu.
You are in a great area that we have in the back room.
Excellent. I can't wait. Thank you. I can't wait to try some of these. Sabrina, this has been a feast. And now we have dessert. This is gorgeous. What do we have?
We are enjoying our brownie sundae and our apple crisp. Very traditional, very tavern-like, very simple, but perfect.
And I cannot wait to dig in. But first, there was one more question I want to ask you. Yes. You've been here less than a year, but Tavern on the Wharf, you've done so much work to really integrate yourselves into the hospitality industry locally.
Correct. It's very important to us. Being in a town such as Plymouth, it's important to focus on its tradition, its history. The Plymouth 400 is something that we're very vested in promoting throughout. And being invested in the local travel and tourism industry is very important to us. So we've cemented ourselves with board positions, with meeting hosting, so on and so forth. It's important, and we feel that it's working for us.
So you're not competitors?
Not in the slightest.
You're collaborators, and everybody's
Absolutely.
working together on the waterfront.
That's the way it should be.
That is fantastic, and I do agree
Yes.
with you. And Tavern on the Wharf, good food, good fun. It's a wonderful place to bring the family. I would
Yes.
like to thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you.
It has been an incredible time here.
Thank you.
For Local Eats and PCN, I'm Donna Rodriguez.
Thanks for checking in this week. All our stories can be found at our website and on YouTube.
PCN is also on Facebook and Twitter, so be sure to follow us and like us.
We're back next week for more local stories from Duxbury, Kingston, Pembroke, and Plymouth.